We want to get you up to date on a situation that's happening in downtown Louisville right now. LMPD telling people to stay away from this area. This is Main near Preston where this is happening. A call came in about 8:30 about an active shooter at the old National Bank building that's located at 333 East Main Street. Many of you might recognize this building. Let me show you what that looks like. It's very recognizable. It has a big swoop in the front. It's right across Preston Street from the Slugger Museum, and this is currently some condo buildings. Several condos are on the inside, as well as offices. Then LMPD decided that this was an active aggressor situation. They have told people to stay away from the downtown area. That is the building there on the left-hand side that we're talking about. We don't know at this point if they have a shooter or shooters in custody or if anyone was hurt, but we do want to show you the mobile command unit that is set up right now. This is outside of Slugger Field, right there on Main Street. We have a shot of that from our SkyTrack camera. There are a number of officers, as you can see right here. You see many of them gathered right there together, and we know that a lot of streets have been closed. Let's go to Wave News reporter Sean Bowdy, who is on the scene right now, who can fill us in with more. Sean?
No, I'm not alone as far as getting a report on our phones, the same way they send out the emergency weather alerts, the Amber Alerts, telling people to avoid the downtown area because of the situation that's going on. You can see what it looks like right now. One of the things that's been the most noticeable for me, it has slowed down a little bit, but the sirens for almost as long as we've been here just hadn't stopped. A new siren coming around just about every corner. Now you can see the lights as they're posted up. We're actually over a block away from where this happens. We're up on Market in Jackson. Obviously, where that happened was closer to Preston and Maine. So we're trying to keep a safe distance outside of the police barricade. But you can see just how heavy this presence is. Law enforcement, fire crews, EMS, everyone is here trying to bring a solution to whatever is actually happening. Obviously, we had heard an active aggressor potential situation here. Police are directing everybody away from here. I know a lot of people going to work this morning, a lot of people working downtown here are having to completely reroute where they're going this morning. It's something that police are very adamant about as well, to make sure that people are not in the area, making sure people are not going into a dangerous situation. So when we are following this, we're working on talking to police as well. Police have set up a police staging area. We've got a reporter heading over there as well. I just saw some of the police media representatives walk onto the scene as well. Obviously, they are still trying to figure out what's going on. We're still trying to figure out what's going on. And police are obviously going to be tight-lipped about this for now. But one thing they have been clear about is that they, in recent months, weeks, years, they want to be more transparent. So we do expect to hear from police about what's going on. But right now, we're still kind of in the dark, but we can just tell you what's happening. We can tell you what we see. We can tell you to avoid the area. And that's what you need to do, because it is a dangerous situation. That's one thing we do know. Reporting live in downtown Louisville, Sean Bowdy, Wave News.
Sean, thank you very much. All right, yes, so you know that a lot of people heading back to work today. Mayor Craig Greenberg sending out this tweet just a few minutes ago saying there is an active police situation downtown. Please avoid the area around Slugger Field until further notice. We will provide information as soon as possible. So here we are. We're about an hour into the situation. The first call report of an active shooter came at 8:39, and that was about a situation happening in the building at 333 East Main Street, which is that old National Bank building, causing a lot of issues too for those people who do have to work downtown. They're being told to not go downtown, but Tawana Andrew is joining us right now to kind of fill us in here on the traffic situation we're looking at.
So we're seeing a lot of those yellows and greens showing up on our traffic sensors in this area, and that shows us that things slow as police are working the scene and blocking off multiple streets in this area. So that building that we've been talking talking about. The one at 333 East Main Street is right across the street from Slugger Field. For those of you who need to get your bearings of the area, this is going to be right, of course, the old National Bank building. So this is going to be on the corner of East Main and Preston Street. So for those of you trying to get around this area, you're thinking, hey, I have to work downtown. How do I get to where I need to be? Well, you're certainly going to have to take some other roads to get to where you are. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit better where the situation is. So of course, we're talking about right across from Slugger Field, right next to that old National Bank. So if you're trying to get around this, some routes for you potentially will be Clay Street. That will be a good wide way to get around this situation. Depending on how much of Floyd Street is blocked off, that could be another option for you. East Witherspoon may be another option, but you may have to hop on to where River Road is and use that as another option to get around as well as you're heading through the downtown area, because of course a lot of these streets are one way or two way. So just depending on where you have to go, Witherspoon could be an option for you. Also, you could use Jefferson Street as another wider option to get around this situation. So I know this is going to really cause some delays for a lot of people this morning as, of course, police continue their investigation of this area. So once again, police asking you to avoid that 300 block of East Main Street. So just keep that in mind as you're heading out this morning. So once again, East Witherspoon, one route to get around it. You can also use potentially Jefferson Street. Market Street also seems to be available for those of you trying to travel in that area. Also, Floyd Street and Brook Street will be other ways to get around this situation. Same thing with Clay. So just make sure that you are keeping a close eye on what's going on and avoiding all of the traffic directions given to you by LMPD if you do have to travel in this area. Shannon.
All right. Thank you, Tawana. And we do want to get you this update right now. LMPD just sending out this tweet, and a very serious situation. They say we're confirming reports of an active aggressor in the 300 block of East Main. Please stay out of the area. And then they add there are multiple casualties. We don't know how many that means, or if they have a shooter or shooters in custody, or the motive, obviously, or if they have that person yet, if the person is still alive and they'll be able to talk to this person. But of course, with all the mass shootings that we've reported on across the country, you always hope that something like this does not impact you and your own community. But here we are on Monday morning, right after Easter Sunday, and we have reports of an active aggressor. FBI also sending out a tweet saying FBI Louisville special agents have responded to the scene of this morning's shooting in downtown Louisville and are assisting our law enforcement partners. So we're following all of the social media updates from our police agencies. We are waiting to get an update as soon as we can from LMPD. As you take a look at this live look right here, downtown Louisville, so many police officers on the scene right now. And again, the mayor also tweeting people should stay away from downtown Louisville right now. This is again around Slugger Field. Olivia Russell is there on the scene too, and we're going to be checking in with her just as soon as we can. But again, this all started at the old National Bank building. The bank offices and the bank are on the first floor, and then above it there are some other offices and also some condos in this building. It's right across Preston from Slugger Field. It's at 333 East Main Street. You see some cars too driving around, so maybe they're starting to let people through that area. But again, that looks like a police vehicle to me. But again, we're just waiting to get an update on do they have the shooter in custody and how many people have been hurt or killed after LMPD says that there are multiple fatalities. This is the building that we're talking about where the shots, reports of the shots first came at 8:30 this morning. And there's another look at it. It's a very well-known building. This is a live look right here. And again, this is an active police situation. This is at Floyd Street and Witherspoon, this location right here. We're waiting on that update from police. We should be getting it hopefully soon, as they have so many officers there on the scene. And we do know that they've set up a very large mobile command unit as well right by Slugger Field. And we have our reporter Olivia Russell. Can we go to Olivia now with more? Okay, so if you need to go to downtown today, you probably want to make that call and reschedule your appointment because we don't know how long this situation could be going on. This is Main Street. This is a very important street in downtown Louisville. And of course, that building, it's one of the most famous in the area, known for the terrific views that they have over downtown and also the Ohio River. On the other side of that is the Louisville Ballet, just to give you some perspective of where this is. And again, there's a big empty parking lot that's right across the street from that as well, and then some other office buildings too. So if you're just joining us right now, here we are, 9:42. The first call report of an active shooter came in at 8:39 this morning. Taking a look at this live shot here, police responding in a huge number to this scene, blocking off roads. You can see that officer there directing traffic, pulling people around the area. So they really want to clear this scene so that they can get the situation under control. All right, let's go to Wave News reporter Olivia Russell right now to see what she can tell us. Olivia?
Hey, Shannon. Yeah, we're at the corner of Floyd and Witherspoon right now. We're expecting to hear from LMPD any minute now. They've told us this is where they want us, or they'll be bringing us information. But what we know so far is what we can see and what we're hearing on Twitter. But LMPD has tweeted that there are multiple casualties. We know several different agencies have responded here, and this area is just flooded with police officers, really blocking off traffic in a lot of places. So that's why they're asking people to avoid the areas. And even just looking up, we've seen a couple choppers in the area, even a drone, just trying to keep an eye on this. But as I said, what we know right now is that they're reporting multiple casualties. That's on Twitter, but we're going to be on standby here waiting to hear from LMPD, and we'll bring that update to you as soon as we find out. But for now, reporting live at the corner of Floyd and Witherspoon, Olivia Russell, Wave News.
All right, Olivia, thanks for that update. We'll be checking back in with all of our news crews. We also have a crew heading right now to U of L Hospital because, as LMPD sent out on that tweet, a very sad tweet indeed, they say that there are multiple casualties involved with this. And the big question, of course, that we have right now is the suspect in custody? Has the suspect been shot and killed? How many people are they looking for, if they are looking for any still? We're working very quickly to try to get those answers for you, as many people will be having questions about that. This is a live look right now at U of L Hospital, where you see a number of police also gathered there. We're not sure at this point how many people will be taken to the hospital. We hear multiple casualties. We don't know how many people were possibly injured, but this must have been a very scary time for people who are at 333 East Main Street in that building, the old National Bank building, bank on the first floor there, and then there are some offices upstairs, even some condo units, and you can imagine this is certainly not the way anyone would expect this new week to begin. As you see officers there on the phone gathering information, you can imagine that how many people they will need to be interviewing in order to figure out exactly what happened. But sad news here that Louisville, Kentucky will tonight be talked about on national news programs as the scene of the country's latest mass shooting. As you look at this live view right here, that is the mobile command center. It's set up right there next to Slugger Field. That's right there on Preston. And you can see a little bit of that 333 East Main Street building that I'm talking about, where this all started. That's on the right corner of your screen there. So many questions. We don't know if that person worked there. Did that person just go into the building? But we do know that this has been a very scary hour plus for many people, especially also officers who are responding to that situation, not sure exactly of what they would find. And again, they changed that to an active aggressor report. As you look at a number of people gathering near the scene, taking a look, wondering what is going on, what should I do? Should I just head home? Do I go to work today? But again, Mayor Craig Greenberg sending out a tweet telling people to avoid going to the downtown area right now as police police are investigating this situation that ended in a number of casualties. At this point, we don't know how many, but police are putting up some yellow crime scene tape right there. They likely will be closing off a large area here as they are doing their investigation. Number of officers, don't know how many exactly, are on the scene right now. And you can see a lot of the streets are also closed down. Fire department on the scene and some ambulances there as well. As we know, U of L Hospital is where some people will be taken. We don't know how many or what kind of injuries were sustained, but police officers directing traffic in that area right now, telling people to avoid that area. So you're looking right there at Angel's Envy Distillery. So that is just a little bit down the street on Main from this building, the old National Bank building that I'm referring to. Another live look, and that is the building on the right-hand side, 333 East Main Street, where the initial reports came of an active shooter, and that was just about 8:39 this morning. And then they changed about what exactly that means. But this is a very large building. It's about 76,000 square feet, as a matter of fact. It's right there on the corner of North Preston and East Main. Many people will know it because of the unusual architecture